Welcome to the sunny island of Barbados. My name is John Snide. Today, we're going to be talking about how we communicate using our five senses. And we'll talk a little bit about the sixth sense. The body's sixth sense. We have more than five senses. Most people take the faculties of sight, touch, smell, taste, and hearing for granted. Recent findings suggest we may have abilities we never suspected. Yes, humans have five senses: taste, smell, vision, hearing, and touch. However, an unappreciated sixth sense called the proprioception allows us to keep track of where our body parts are in space. Each sense provides different information and is combined and interpreted by our brain. Our dominant sense is sight. Hearing is our most sensitive due to the range of loudness which can operate. Today we are talking about the senses. An interpretation from a course I attended which brought this situation to light and gave me an understanding far better than just the text I read earlier. It suggested to me that there was more to our sense in the sense of a dominance. Our sight, the lecturer said, most persons use, as he said, we perceive 80% of our impression by our sights. But yet, there is a specialty about persons who use their sight, and they're called seers. This is what I mean. As a young boy growing up, I can visualize things, I can see things, I can understand things by just looking at them. I can conceptualize. If I have to do something, I have to write it. I have to put it in a place where I can see it. And there are more people like that, like me. And then there are persons who you have to tell things to, who is called hearers. And the only way that they understand what you're saying is if they hear it. Then they're persons of taste. Now, that is one of the most difficult ones to define. A person whose dominant sense is their taste. But you have ever run into a person that can't stop talking? That is what we're talking about. And everything that person has to have the last word. There's a sense now of touch. Or touchy-feely person. There is a person out there whose dominant sense is always that they have to touch everything. Have you ever walked into a room where a person says, "Boy, today you smell good"? You think it is strange that he or she might be making a pass at you. Why somebody say you smell good? Because that person's dominant sense is smell. So, when we are talking about getting to know people, we have to understand that getting to know people, that some of us, our dominant senses, and what our dominant senses are. Most of the people we come along and we talk about, we will find that they talk about their sight. Yeah, but that person has to see it. You could be talking in a group and a person doesn't understand anything that you're saying because they cannot visualize it. Yet the person who's in the group and they're hearing it, they already got the concept because their brain has taken them to the place where they're hearing and understanding what you are saying. So think about it. In the schools, we're teaching our children and we're teaching them, but we are leaving out a very important section. Everybody's dominant sense is different. Some people see it, some people hear it, and some people have to see it in order to get it into understanding. When I was going to accounts course, here I was as a youngster doing this course in accounts. I've done O-levels, failed miserably at doing the same basic accounts, but went to BIMAT, and the teacher can show me in a graphic. I went on to community college where we were doing T accounts, and you had to draw up a T. The instructor called you a polyglot. And some persons who around my age group who had been trained by that particular lecturer would know who I'm talking about. If you cannot do a T account, and that was good for me because I understand what is a debit and a credit very clearly. And I can understand because I can perceptualize, I can count. My brain can work in the way to understand what is called a T account. I know where to put my credit, I knew where to put my debit, and that is what I'm talking about. The way that we can see things. Recently, I decided to set up a garden, instant kitchen garden. The person who is going to manage that project decide that they have to come and see it. They don't tell me on the phone the measurements is 6 by 4 by 3 by whatever you're going to do. I want to see the space. I want to see the physical space in order that when the job is complete or the persons come to do the work, they know what they're doing. After watching the video, can you tell what your dominant sense is? Can you tell what your partner's dominant sense is? Or any of your friends or associates? Just write in the comments below, and I'll see you in our next video.